Oh, that's, Monastery, welcome back, or I guess I'm the one that's back. It's so hard to find time these days. A few days ago, what happened a few days ago? I can't remember, sorry. uh, okay, I think I'm caught up. So now it's just actually catch up on. High school, oh yeah, right, yeah. I mean, I guess that's all I know about that person, that they're in high school. Hopefully they didn't get too put off. What was he doing? Okay, this so much stuff to study. Yeah. Let me get a drink. Yes, so more stuff to catch up on. Oh, okay, you finally did. Okay, nice. Yeah. Yeah, it's not your problem anymore. Yeah. Burned out. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I wasn't sure if I should say it, but yeah, it's important to do everything in moderation. Says the guy that basically doesn't stream anything except studying, but trust me. Yeah. Just really don't feel like eating candy right now. I like all the procrastinating. You never know, you might get it back like literally the next day or something. And you know, it's like I mean, this is why you send these things early, right? So that people can do it on their own time, or do it at whatever, you know, pace is convenient for themselves. So yeah, I said I wasn't gonna eat candy, but fuck that. Hosea, welcome back. How did your was it a math exam? Can't remember. I got an exam next Friday, so we're in crunch time now. Alright, sounds good. Yeah, I think I ate a lot for dinner, so I'm still kind of a little. I'm still not really in the mood to get started, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Actually, let me. Wish I had a good way of hanging my towel. You know, I think I mentioned before, right? I take a shower at the in the campus showers, but don't really have a place to hang my towels, so yeah. Kind of annoying that I don't have somewhere to hang it, but it's okay. 50% right. Well, at least you know that you did some of the stuff right. Yeah, well, I mean, I guess all you can do is wait, right? Um, yeah. Yeah, I mean, you know what? I mean, but the exam is over, right? So you can. I'm assuming you can relax then and play video games or whatever you want to do. Yeah. Actually, now that I think about it, so it's math, right? What are you guys covering right now? Or actually, wait, you know, never mind. Actually, I don't know if you want to talk about the exam or not, but if you want to, I'm curious what the topic was, and if you don't, then don't worry about it. It's too. I guess it is, isn't it? Yeah, I started pretty late today, didn't I? Yeah, I mean, you know, if you had fun, and you're back home, just like, you know, just take it easy, right? It is what it is. You can, you know. I mean, perhaps there's some review you can do, but leave that to tomorrow's you, right? Today's you can just can just relax. It's the weekend. Uh, Jeffrey Dahmer? I don't know how to pronounce that. Sorry, I don't know what this show is. Are there clips or something? Just Google the person's name. Oh, wow. Okay. Interesting. Well, that's pretty scary. Yeah. Comfy bed. You know, well, beds. You know, it's beds are important. It's important to have a comfy bed, right? It's, you know, we're not saying, you know, oh, you know, you don't do what like Coco did and, like, you know, get a $9,000 bed, right? But you know, we're not you know, ridiculous. It's not like you have to go that far for a bed, but um but you know, like, you sleep in it every day, so it's good to get a decently comfortable one. Yeah. Says the guy that lives on or I got one of the, I think it's like a $60 like IKEA mattress. Let me look it up. For the record, it's far more comfortable than I was expecting, especially for a mattress. So I'm gonna, you know, people, you know, everyone says IKEA quality sucks, but it's like IKEA quality, you get, you know, you get what you pay for, right? With IKEA, you get exactly what you pay for. It's just you don't pay much. Let's see. I think it was $60, and it's like a twin size. I can't quite remember. I'm pretty sure it was only like $60 or $70. I remember thinking it was. Ah, here it is. Here's the mattress that I have. $60. But you know, that's the thing though. It's not that bad actually. Or it's sold out. See? Called it. It's so good it's sold out. Anyway. Yeah. Very important to get a good mattress. Although, it is one of those things, right? Like they say, like, what are the first things you should buy when you have, when you're in a financially good spot? A lot of people say like socks, and I think socks are also a good choice, right? Because you can buy small. You don't have to spend as much at once, right? Good socks, right, go a long way. So I agree with the sock statement. So maybe like a little after that you would optimize your mattress or whatever, but random. Yeah. Well, it's like, yeah. Anyway, exam was quadratic formula. So that, okay. So I have no idea where in the curriculum that would be. But I imagine it's then it must be like, like methods of like factorization and I don't know, maybe you do some, when does that come into play in the curriculum? Well, anyway, yeah, that's not a big deal. I'm just kind of curious. Yeah, but yeah, anyway, like sounds fun. But yeah, sorry, I don't know what show you're talking about, but interesting, I guess. Yeah. I mean, what I will say is that all that stuff stays important. It reminds me of in was it in high school? I can't remember, but someone asked like, the stereotypic question that like, people ask us like, why do we need to know this? Like, well, who cares? When are we going to use this information? And I remember, it wasn't in our class, but I read online someone was talking about they had someone ask that in their class, and then the teacher was like, well, the smart kids will use it. I don't know about you, but so it was like, oh, like get wrecked. But anyway, but I remember at least in our class we had someone ask the question, and the teacher didn't really entertain the question. But thinking back, thinking now, like back then, it's like, all the stuff in geometry, like all the trig stuff. I mean, not all the trig stuff, but there's a decent amount of stuff from like trigonometry and geometry, and even just like basic algebra, and that keeps coming up, like years later. And it's like, well, this is when you would use it, right? So, anyway, yeah. So, yeah, anyway, hang in there. It's Mother's Day. Is it Mother's Day right today? I thought. Is Mother's Day a different day for you guys in the U.S.? Or wait, no, let's see. Mother's Day 2022. Yeah. I was thinking like Mother's Day is in May for us. So, which is convenient because my mom's birthday is in May. So it becomes very convenient because I don't really have to remember that carefully when Mother's Day is, right? Because I can just be like, oh, it's gonna be sometime in May, right? So it's fairly easy to remember. But I see. Okay, so for you guys, it's more in October then. Interesting. Okay. Family lunch and like, okay, yeah, cool, fun then. Well, if that's the case, you probably should get to sleep, right? So if you need to go, don't worry. I'm just gonna be taking more notes. So yeah, interesting. Okay, so it's in. I mean, I guess seasonally that makes a lot of sense though, right? Because if you consider what is the equivalent of May if you were on the other hemisphere, then I guess that does come out to probably, around October, right? Like seasonally, what time of year it would be? It's like, yeah, seasonally it would be, it's like, what is May? Is that considered like springtime essentially? But I don't know. But I guess that makes sense. I wonder how it's derived. Hmm? Let's see, what is this? Oh man, you know, I really want to play Overwatch 2. After this exam on well, next Friday, I'm gonna what do you call it? I definitely want to play. Oh, that was a good ult though. So I forgot. Did they end up implementing the thing where Lucio's his ult or the healing, or sorry, the barrier from his ult scales with how high you do the beat drop from? Let me watch it really quick. Is this the? It did 1K though, so I think it's this. I think it's just the static. Like I think it's like what, plus 800 or something. That, I think that's a pretty close beat drop though. Let me actually watch them. So they get grabbed, and oh, like look at how like little. You know, I guess, well, yeah, yeah. Just everyone press Q. Everyone press Q. Yeah. Yeah. Nice. Although, if I'm gonna nitpick a little bit, I don't think that's actually the optimal rollout for that map, right? I think there's a slightly more optimal route to get to the point by going the other way, isn't there? I guess this probably worked out for him because the direction he came from, I don't think anyone was shooting at him. So, and it gave him line of sight to do his ult. So, well, I guess more importantly, he gave line of sight and there was ground. So if he did the typical Lucio rollout, I guess he wouldn't have had ground to do it on. So I guess maybe that was also considered, which is why he took the left side route. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of I think everyone I think they did a good job of like upgrading everyone's skins from Overwatch 1 to Overwatch 2. Some gun skins with other character skins. Like right, yeah. I forgot. Aren't those doesn't it cost money to do those that though? I don't I obviously haven't logged in yet, so I don't know, but I thought excuse me. I thought the gun skin swap was limited for like the high end skins or something, but maybe that's not the case. But yeah, they did it. They did. I think they did. Well, at least again, I think they did a great job updating all the look of all the characters. Sonic speaker, as opposed to a Sonic amplifier, right? Yeah. Yeah, but yeah. Man, I really want to play Overwatch 2, but actually I don't quite remember. Sorry, so Lucio Overwatch 1 versus 2. I don't think I've really carefully compared his skin, his gun, right? I don't really remember what. Oh, here's a picture of his gun. Okay. So it's got like a grill on it this time. Yeah. That's true. Yeah. Like the group. Someone was commenting about that on. I think there's some. From what I understand, I think someone made a post about how like if you were to unlock all of the Overwatch 1 content in Overwatch 2, then it would take like $10,000 or something. And so there was a discussion thread about like how expensive the microtransactions in Overwatch 2 now are. And I remember someone was like, why does anyone so there was a comment that said, what that where the commenter wasn't sure, wasn't they were baffled at why anyone really cared about these skins, because again, when you're in the game you only see your arms and your gun. So why does the skin matter, was kind of their point. And I'm not saying that the people that are kind of frustrated with microtransactions, how much they try to nickel and dime you with microtransactions, like I'm not saying that those people are ridiculous, but I did think it's funny because it's like like I don't really care about the skin situation for a different reason, but I was like, they also bring up a good point. Like the thing you're looking at like day in day out really is the gun in your arms, right? So yeah. So I don't know, I guess so. I don't know. So can you just swap any gun in Overwatch 2 now, like the gun skin, like within for like a given character? So like for each character, are you just allowed to like swap the gun skin for like any gun or any skin, or any of that character's skin? I guess you can't. Okay, wait, sorry. So then, what are you allowed to do? I'm just gonna. I haven't really looked into it. So if you have a video that explains it or that you can link, that'd be fine too. But also like, like, how does it work then? Because I had assumed they would honestly, I thought they would lock that behind like I thought they would lock the gun skin thing behind like the. I know they're trying to make like a higher tier of like skins now. I think above legendary or whatever. So I thought they would just lock that feature behind those or something. Potato, welcome back. Let's see. I mean, I guess cool. I don't know what I did, but I guess I will take credit for it now. Yeah. Sorry. Although I'm gonna be honest, I don't quite remember what we were talking about. You can't. Oh, sorry. So you can't do that. Period. So you're just using the Overwatch 1 skin then? Is that right? Okay. Sorry, I guess Potato was saying the same thing. Yeah, sorry, Potato. I don't. Well, what were we talking about? I can't remember. But I mean, I guess if you're feeling better, then by all means. But that's the thing, right? They were talking about how like they want swapping the guns, the look of the gun to be a feature, and I thought what they were going to do, or at least that was on the roadmap somewhere, right? In addition to like the gun keychain thing that they have now, or I forgot what they call it, but there's like a little keychain on your gun now, right? That you can change. So I thought they were gonna also do, or at least from what I understand, swapping gun skins was a planned feature. I don't know what happened to it, but so my assumption was that, you know, they were talking about how they wanted to do a higher tier of, I think it was called Mystic, right? Like Mystic skins or something above Legendary or whatever the highest one is right now. And I thought they were going to make it a feature of like the top end skin, you know, so we'll see what happens to that, but I don't like the keychains. You know, I think, you know, I'll have to take a look. I don't know how they're implemented, so yeah, I don't know. I'll have to take a look. I hope they do, you know, implement the gun skin thing though eventually. I thought, you know, again, as you say, you look at the gun the majority of the time, so I don't know. Yeah, you know, again, I can wait, you know, right? Because really, we're talking about, you know, I think this is before, just, you know, just so I can get started on my assignment or just studying, but. I see, you know, there's so many reviews of Overwatch 2 out now, and I'm like, this game literally just launched. I feel like this with every game that launches, but like it's like chill. Like they're ironing out some bugs. I mean, okay, if you've got an issue with the fundamental gameplay, then, you know, that's fine. Make a review of that. But it's like, you know, people are like, oh, Overwatch 2 sucks as a sequel. You know, it's just a ripoff, and it's like, damn, this one, like we're not playing Overwatch 2 yet. We're playing the PvP part of Overwatch 2. We have gotten like literally none of the actual Overwatch 2 content yet, right? It's like chill. just chill. Same thing with like, you know, I feel like it happens with every game. It's like, you know, whenever someone criticizes like, oh, this doesn't work because, you know, it's like bugged or something, it's like I just feel like, okay, it's bugged. You know, it would be nice if it weren't. It's okay to mention that. But I'm not going to, like, deny the existence or validity of an entire game off of, you know, a day one, like, glitch or a day one, like, launch issue, right? Now, if it's still like that, like, a month into the game's release, then it's like, okay, yeah, there's, you know. But, like, I don't know. I just feel like I've had so many reviews of Overwatch 2 pop up in my feed, and I'm like, how? Just chill. This happens with every like popular game, you know, like every, like there's a new Pokemon game out, right? And people are like, oh, this sucks ass or whatever. It's like, chill, the game hasn't even launched yet. Just chill. I don't know. Yeah, little keychain on the end. Yeah, again, I just I'm just kind of curious how like obtrusive, or if that's the right, or yeah, like how obtrusive it is. If it's just a little, like, you know, add-on and it doesn't really interfere too much with, you know, the look, then it's like, I'm kind of like, you know, it's like, it seems like a decent feature, right? Because if you don't like it, you don't use it. And if you like it, you use it, right? So for me, it's kind of like, well, you know, yeah, sure, why not? I mean, I imagine it didn't cost them too much developer time to implement it, and it seems kind of like, you know, it's an easy way to kind of add a little bit of your own like personal flair to your character. So it's like, you know, yeah, sure, why not, right? Yeah, I am curious how little it actually is to see if it actually interferes, but we'll see. We'll see. I'll play Overwatch 2 eventually. I do want to try playing it a little, but after my exams, of course. Yeah, but yeah. But anyway, it sounds like, or I think it sounds like you're having fun. I'm not quite sure. Sorry, let me just refill my drink. Yeah. Yeah, I really want to play. I really want to play video games or something, but it's just, yeah. Want to play on stream? I've done that a few times, so I think I would. As much as I do want to play it like immediately, I also realize there's some account like progression related glitches that are still being ironed out, right? Like I heard some people had like characters that weren't properly unlocked, and like some people didn't have skins and whatever that weren't properly unlocked and stuff. So knowing that those issues are still in place, like I don't mind waiting a little bit to until they sort it out. So essentially what I'm hoping by the time that my exams or my midterms are done, they'll have the issues sorted out. Oh, I see. It's like there's like a little just like pin on it. Interesting. That it just sticks out of. Well, I guess that doesn't look too bad. I mean, we're of course ignoring the practicality of having a keychain in a place like that. Sorry, it's called a charm, I guess. A weapon charm, I guess. But but it's essentially a keychain, right? Like I don't know, like ignoring the practicality of having something like that right there. It's yeah. I don't know, it seems fine. Yeah. And yeah, I'd probably play it on stream. I imagine if I do play, I think there's a new or you have to like play a bunch of games at the beginning to actually I don't remember, so I'm not super clear. If I log in right now, I don't know if I'll have all the characters unlocked, and I don't know if all the game modes will be unlocked for me. I think they force you to do some kind of like introduction, right? So I'd have to do that. So I might do that off stream and then play it like on stream once everything's unlocked. We'll see. Of course, if that takes too long, then I'll probably just do it all on stream. We'll see. Yeah. Kind of ruin the sonic speaker. Yeah, again, yeah, I'd have to, take a look in game to see if how bad it actually is. But I mean, right, but the good thing I think about those keychain, or sorry, the weapon charms essentially is that if it doesn't look good, you can just take it off, right? Like honestly, it's like for me that's like, yeah, people that like that stuff can use it, and then if I like it, I could use it. If I don't, then I can just pull it off, and that's it. Yeah. So I think it's a good implementation. Or it's one of those things where I don't really mind the fact that stuff like that gets implemented, because it's like if you don't want it to get in the way, it doesn't, right? So, yeah. Link Overwatch 2 with your Overwatch 1 account. Okay, I see. Yeah. So I'll have to do that. Although that's interesting, I wonder. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so again, hopefully by the time, if so that's the case, then I'll probably just do all of that on stream. I know that's the opposite of what I just said, but I think it'll probably be easier that way, right? Just do that all. Except for the account linking part, right? I'll do that part off stream. Of course, but yeah. $150 matches, wow. Is that 150 wins or just pure matches? Because I feel like that would make a lot of people just like throw their match, right? Like, if you didn't have to win any. But at the same time, if you had to win all 150, like that's pretty rough too, right? Yeah. Just matches, okay. Yeah. Well, so I imagine right now people are just there might be, well, I guess they also have new security features, right? So, yeah. Hopefully there isn't too much like smurfing and people throwing. Fourth match. Okay, I see. Yeah. I mean, 150 matches. Well, actually, if each match is at minimum like 6 minutes, or let's just say on average, each match is 6 minutes. 150 matches, actually, that's a long time. Smurfing is already pretty bad. Okay. Yeah, I like. Actually, so the thing is, so I kept up a little bit. So from what I understand, they took away the, oh, you need a phone number, or sorry, let me rephrase. If you had an Overwatch account prior to sometime before launch, then what I understand is that they waived the security the phone like SMS verification requirement. So I had assumed, and so for me that's great, right? Because I don't have like a postpaid cell phone, so I wouldn't be able to authenticate my account if they kept that requirement in. But for new accounts, my understanding is that you still have to verify with a with a postpaid like phone number. So I thought that would curb a lot of like Smurfs and, well, basically just like throwaway accounts. But I guess that's not really the case if from what you say. So that's kind of annoying. Yeah. I mean, I guess it's fine for me because I'm just like perpetually playing mystery heroes. so so it doesn't really, there aren't really many, Smurfs and mystery heroes. So yeah. Or at least back in Overwatch 1 there weren't, but we'll see. Yeah. Ooh. Tsun-san, welcome back. Excuse me. Let me get a drink. Yeah, how's it going? Ooh. Sound dead? Yeah, I got a lot of catching up to do. So yesterday I was I don't think I've streamed in what, like 2 or 3 days now. I got to get back to my daily streams, but anyway, I had I was trying to rush to submit an assignment, so I kind of just was like, I submitted and it was like, okay, time to sleep, and kind of just slept through the evening and then I guess day of today. So yeah, no, I guess I should be rested, but I don't know, I just feel tired. Thankfully I've got, well, I don't have coffee, but I can make coffee and I got snacks here, so yeah. Yeah, how about you? How things going? Things are going Uh, well, just drawing? Okay, cool. Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, right. Yeah, because I mean, I don't know what the situation really is, but, I mean, where, what else can you do except, move forward, right? I mean, I guess you could move backwards and to the side, but you get the point. It's forward as defined. Just define the vector k in the direction that you're moving it, and define your axis based on k. The direction of propagation. It doesn't matter what direction that is. The direction of propagation immediately becomes the forward direction. Yeah. Don't do homework. Oh, そっち? What do you gotta do? そっちかよ. Let's see. I don't know, if I'm being really honest, I got a problem set that I think the deadline on the problem set is Monday evening, and I am just starting the lectures about it, so 17th at 11:59. Yeah, that's Monday evening. If you're saying all the physics stuff. Oh, okay, yeah, sorry, no. All I meant to say is that in physics, with like light and stuff, or just, I don't know how much you know, but if you already know, then you know that the electric field and magnetic field are kind of, they talk about how light is an electric and magnetic field, right? But specifically, if you look at diagrams on the web and stuff, you'll see that there's like they're like sines, they're like waves that, like, you have this wave that oscillates back and forth, and you've got one for the electric field and one for the magnetic field, and then those are kind of fluctuating as you go off in space. But if you were to like cut that kind of that diagram at any spot, you'd note that the arrow that corresponds to like where the electric field is or where the magnetic field is, they're both actually like in the plane of the cut, which isn't the plane that you're like moving in. You've got this like plane that's kind of like, well, anyway, so the point is that they define k, like a k vector or k arrow essentially, that says, this is the direction that the thing, the wave as a whole, is moving in, even though if you were to break it down into its components, technically the electric field is going one way and the magnetic field is pointing the other way and stuff. But the wave itself is moving in a direction that's at a right angle, or that's essentially perpendicular to both the electric and magnetic field, which, and then it's funny, right? Because the electric field is at a right angle with the magnetic field, just take that for what it means. It's just means something. And then both of those are at a right angle with the direction that you're moving in. So you kind of end up with this kind of like this, these like three, if you can see my hand right now, it's kind of, you end up with this like these three arrows that are all at right angles with each other. But this is just to say that the K is just denotes what direction you're moving in, or what direction that pair of electric and magnetic fields is like essentially moving in. Even though when you break it down again, they're not actually pointing in that direction. They're actually at a right angle with it. But I won't bore you too much with that. But anyway, but essentially what I was trying to say is that what can you do except how did I get to that? Oh yeah, moving forward. So my point was just to say that you got to do what you got to do, right? Like and well, that doesn't necessarily mean do homework, but just to say that forward is forward, right? Your backward could be someone else's forward, and someone's left could be your right, and really doesn't matter what the direction is, so long as that's forward relative to you, right? Is, I guess, my point. And that would be the vector k as defined by, whatever. Never mind. I'm not quite sure what I was trying to get at either, so never mind. Just draw. Yeah, although, actually, wait, sorry. That reminds me of something, and let me Google this just so I can get it out of my head so I can focus later. I saw some article about... Actually, it must be in my reading list, then. Where do you access your reading list? Is it here? Here it is. I saw something about Clip Studio. I wanted to know if they were getting rid of the subscription model, or because it was an article from just today. I don't remember where I saved it. Kurista. Kaikiri. Here we go. Or I guess it's yesterday.クリスタ買い切り版でこれなんて読むんだなんて言うんだこれ方向転換方針転換 Oh, I see, because this is 心 like sorry, I was trying to guess what this word was. And I just sent it in chat right now. And I thought it was 方向転換, which is like a change of direction. And this is essentially but I got the second character wrong. It's 方針転換, which makes sense because 方 is like direction, or it's part of the word for direction, right? And 転換 is to pivot or change, right? And it makes sense why you'd use the Shin character here, because I guess 方向転換 would be probably right, but it also makes sense that they would use 方針 because 方針 is the word for like policy, right? So and you can also kind of see how they derived the word, right? Because Shin is like needle or pointer, or like it's Oh, what is another word with shing? The character for shing in it. But it's like a needle, right? Like, hari no shing, or some this, or actually, wait. I think shing is just like the core of something, right? Like, let me try to write. Isn't this? Am I thinking of the wrong character? Shing. Maybe actually, maybe I'm thinking of the wrong character. Never mind. You can't find this. Where was this released? Just the wrong. Oh yeah, totally. If you wanna link it or yeah. Sorry. だからセレシスは10月13日ペイントソフトの買い切り版について終了すると、what is it? 予告？これ予告の感じだよね。やつ予告。していた、終了すると予告していた不具合修正の無料アップデートをWhere am I supposed to parse this? You know, never. Let me just find the actual press release. Where is this press release? Jeez. Ceresys 2023年以降の Windows なんちゃらかんちゃら and then 8月あれじゃなくて10月13日Why? What is so hard about? Why do these articles just? I don't know. I just feel like these articles can't just like link their source, please. Could you guys like cite the things you're? I don't know. It's Twitter. Okay. You'd think a company that focuses on news articles like could sources. No, like legit, right? It's like there's so many articles that mention this thing, and it's like, but I want to see the actual press release. Where is it? Here we go. Here we go. Celsius's homepage. It's like, could none of these guys have linked this? Oh, nice, nice. Yeah. Although I got a question. Do you have trouble with wrinkles on the jacket? Because I do too. I can, if you do, I can like super relate. I forgot there was I saw an interesting video. Where was it? I might have, let me look it through my YouTube watch later videos. I might have some, I can't remember if it was Saito Naoki sensei or if it was Deep Blizzard or if it was someone specifically did a video on like wrinkles and how to do wrinkles well. I can't, yeah, sorry, I can't find it. It is what it is, though, right? Honestly. Yeah. I mean, you know what they say, right? Like, I think at some point, I can see why so many artists have, like, pictures of themselves on their phones. Like, that's the joke, right? Someone's an artist based on how many pictures of themselves they have in their phone. But like at some point you really do just have to grab like whatever you're drawing, like the real life version of it, and just like put it somewhere and just look at it, right? Because it's like, yeah, I don't know how you're supposed to predict how the wrinkles go in otherwise. It's like, I don't know, I can't do that, like that's mental like simulation. Sorry, it's just with this, oh wait, is this an English version? Oh, here we go. Oh, they do have an English version of the article. Okay, yeah, I was trying to mentally translate, and I was like, but I'm not sure if I'm really interpreting this right. But they have an English translation of the article. Okay. Right. So version 2 is coming out in next year. Okay, version 2. That's what I thought. So version 2 will be available to either as a one-time payment or a monthly plan. And I guess, I guess people that own it will get a free upgrade to version 2. Well, that's what the article says, which is what I was thinking it said. I don't know if version 3 that they're projecting even further ahead. Well, so this is why I was like, here. I'm not quite sure what. So this is why I was confused when I was trying to find a properly translated article, because I thought I know that they got a lot of flack for wanting to go subscription model on version 2, but it wasn't clear to me if they, if they took it back or if they still plan to. For right now, it seems like their direction is we'll offer 2 options, either monthly plan or one-time payment, which I think really they should have just been the thing in the first place, right? Like monthly plan should be for people that aren't sure if they're going to use it long term, and like one-time payment should be for people that do know, and that should be it. And then maybe if someone has like, yeah, yeah, okay. So yeah, it's still $50. Okay. And I think, yeah. So, right. And then if you already own it, you don't do anything. And I guess if you don't, then you can pay $50 as you would have anyway. So that price doesn't change. And then well, actually, wait, what? I thought you said... Oh, never mind. I guess if you own the previous version, you there is a one-time discounted like payment that you can do. So basically, you should be able to buy the new version outright, which I think is fine. Except if only they had mouse smoothing, which they refused. They don't? Wait, can't you get like a... Isn't there a... I can't remember, but there's a... What do you call it? What the fuck is it called? Like, isn't there a brush that can do that? That you can get on the market? Not, you know, like their internal market they have where their people release, like, you know, assets and stuff. Here's one thing I'm curious about. If they don't mention multi-threading in the updates, then I have no intention of buying the new version. Oh, I see. If you bought version 1 anytime in 2022, then you can upgrade to version 2 for free. If you bought it before that, you need to pay at a discounted rate to upgrade. And likewise, if you're a new user, they just have, you know, purchasing options if you need it. Okay. Yeah, I have no intention of upgrading though, because they mentioned one critical feature or they didn't mention one critical feature that is, again, multi-threading. What do you mean a software updated in 2022 does not have multi-threading? Like, are you kidding me? And then using AI then drawing to thread for that like 30 minutes. Well, yeah, I mean, I guess, yeah, like, so again, with the AI thing, I think it's, like, I know eventually I'm going to use... Now, you know, multi-threading, is that necessarily a requirement for me? Honestly, no. But also, if there is no multi-threading, I can't imagine why they would need my money, right? Because it's like, you know, it's like... if you're not... Like, what features are you adding that... You know, anyway. It's like... For me, it's like, does it kill the argument for getting Clip Studio? Me, not necessarily. But like, if, you know, but like, I'm not going to pay more to upgrade if it has no features that I'm ever going to use, right? Like, and if they're also not going to make the software that I currently have run better, then like, why would I upgrade then? I still think $50 for Clip Studio Pro is actually pretty good. But again, that's $50, not $10 a month. If someone said, oh, should I get Clip Studio for $10 a month? I'd be like, you should do it once to try it, and then just cut the subscription if you don't. But if you want to use it, you know, forever, then no, $10 a month is stupid. Like, unless, of course, they do actively add more, like, optimization-related features, because otherwise... then I'd be like, no, because otherwise $50 just makes more sense, right? Yeah, 100 Adobe things, yeah. Nay reach 500. Oh, really? Oh, nice, man. He's grown fast. Wow. I didn't even realize. Although I saw something earlier. I was kind of just favoriting stuff blindly. Did I? I know he was tweeting, though. I know he tweets a lot, so I think, you know, he puts in the work. Why can I not access my profile? Oh, actually, no, wait. I liked that tweet. I was mentally not paying attention when I was... Does that ever happen to you guys on Twitter where you'll just favorite stuff and be like, oh, I'll read it later, and then you don't actually read it? barely go on Twitter. I look at Twitter a decent amount, honestly. If you have exactly right. Like if you have it for half a year, then or if you plan to use it for longer than for half a year, then it immediately makes more sense to just get the one-time payment, right? So I still think it's, so I just don't understand why they just do that in the first place, like they did for version 1. Version 1, right, it had a subscription, like especially for like mobile devices. You did have just a $10 subscription, and they also did just have the one-time payment. So I was just like, and I understand on iOS they want to sell subscriptions, like Apple just wants you to sell subscriptions. I get if they were pressured to by Apple, they couldn't, for subscriptions, then that was just that. But then to force that on like every other user, especially on like Windows or like, Mac OS or like essentially a desktop where subscriptions like that aren't really enforced by anyone, it's like, no, are you stupid? It's $50. It was a good deal at $50, but at $10 a month, no, unless they plan to like actually put in like, I don't know what features, but to me, I feel like getting it running well with basic features, like again, to me, that's why I'm so hung up on the multi-threading. I'm like, you guys can add all the features you want, but what I just don't understand how you can add like a fuck ton of these like animation related features or AI features or whatever. And I don't understand how this could possibly be a good investment if like 10 years down the line, you're still single threaded and people are like, like, you know what I mean? It's like, you can't raise the clock speed on a processor that, indefinitely, right? At some point, a single core is going to be really tough to work on, right? So like, and when that happens, does do all the features you built for like the single core version necessarily carry over to the new one? It's like, no, I hope so, but I don't expect it to. Model, how's it work? Oh yeah. So LSAO, I guess I could give you all the info, but yeah, so how that works is, do I still have the file? Essentially what I do, or what I do, or what, so it's obviously it's a multi-step process, right? But the way it works is, I provide, an illustration, right? At the end of the day, it's an illustration. I provided this illustration in parts. So like the drawing that this model eventually became or was turned into came as a bunch of parts. There's a part for, the hair, and the part for the eyes, and the part for the body, and they're all broken down into little pieces, and they're all kind of put together into a Photoshop file, essentially, or some kind of illustration file, right? So there's a file with a bunch of separate, chunks where each chunk is like a different part of the body and stuff. And then what the rigger does, in this case what Nay did, is that he took those chunks and he loaded them into a software called Cubism. This I don't think is the only software that can do it, but right now it's kind of the main one that everyone uses. But Cubism is a software that essentially takes all those chunks of illustrations and kind of you instruct it, you kind of instruct it to say, here I want, when this happens, I want you to pivot this component relative to that, or like I want you to move this part of the body over relative to that, So what the rigging is essentially saying, how do those chunks of the illustration move and deform, under what conditions? You say, under these conditions, I want this to happen, or this part of the drawing to deform like this. I want this part of the drawing to move over like this. And when you put all those together, and you kind of just do that a bunch. You just do that, and the main benefit of Cubism is that you can kind of, like in animation, where you'll kind of define the beginning and end and maybe a couple in between points in an animation. Cubism will also do the same thing where you can like define the beginning and end of a movement, like say moving your arm or like moving your head or something, and it'll naturally kind of fill in the blank between and stuff. But so all rigging is doing that. It's taking the flat image and it's you kind of construct a skeleton and like you kind of program it. Well, you don't program it, but you kind of give it instructions on how that thing should move. That's all rigging is. I say that's all, but it's a massive amount of work, right? So live 2D. Yeah, of course, the reason why I wanted to avoid using the term live 2D, and this is for LSAO as well, but when you say live 2D, it refers to a specific technology or company, and it's also not clear what aspect of the technology you're talking about. So, because live 2D as a technology, from what I understand, encompasses everything from that's the best way to phrase this. Well, anyway, so the point is, Sinsang here is correct. Live 2D cubism is, I think, the full. Let me see. Yeah, Live 2D Cubism is the full. Yeah, no, that's the full name, but isn't the company also Live 2D? Because there's Live 2D Cubism, there's Live 2D, and they have a bunch of other stuff, right? There's Live 2D. Exactly, right. So it's Live 2D, and their product is Cubism, is it not? Or is it Live... Let me look it up here. Let me try to find. They do not, but don't they also do? Who makes all of the integration with Live 2D and like the game engines and stuff then? I mean, there should be here. Sorry, let me just. I mean, maybe I can just go on Wikipedia. Not because Wikipedia is right, but because usually there's some citations you can work off of. Right, so the company is Live 2D, right? That's not really what I'm interested in. Oh, really? They used it. It's used in Oremo too. Huh. Oh, no, this is one I want. I want the, where is it? Give me the English EULA for Live 2D. It's a file format. Is it the... I thought the format was, man, I haven't messed with Cubism in ages. I don't remember. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Well, I mean, I guess here, yeah, again, the fastest way is to look up the, whatever license agreement for Cubism and see what they define is as the product in that. So where is it? I want the licensing agreement. Come on, jeez. This is the privacy policy, but it might mention something here. No. Where is the license agreement for Cubism? Right. But the question is the name of the product actually Live 2D Cubism, or is it just Cubism? Right. That was the question. Let's see. No, wait, no. This is the Cubism. Well. Let's see. For this reason, I like to persist your product. No, actually, I don't really care about the SDK. I want to know what the. Or maybe it's a subscription agreement? This is live too. Let's see. Software. The customer represent a software. It's very unclear. Oh, they have a student discount too. Anyway, can't get to. Right, but I mean that again. So I guess what I'm saying is that it's, I can see how it would go, or how it could be interpreted either way, mainly because, I mean, you know, like doesn't. Well, let's see how Adobe does it, just out of curiosity. Actually, wait, no, I actually know how Adobe does it. I'm pretty sure they don't actually put their name in, but there's a lot of companies that'll put their name into the software, or not really phrase. They will, in which case, it would be like Live 2D Cubism. But then also, you know, there'll be companies that don't, and then the company that doesn't, for example, is like Adobe, where I think the only product that Adobe has that includes their name is Acrobat, right? If I remember correctly. I could be wrong. Let's see. Contact us. It's not clear where's. Maybe it's specified in documentation. Oh, this is in Japanese. Let's put it in English first. And you know, now that I think about it, there's Cubism Editor and there's Cubism SDK, right? It's in. Sorry, do you have a link to it? I don't know why I'm having a hard time. I don't know if I need to log in to access the agreement. I mean, I must have agreed to it at some point, right? But I don't know why I can't find I mean, I'm assuming it's somewhere on this page, isn't it? No alternative. Oh, no. Well, yeah, again, I don't know at the moment if there's any alternative. Sent the link? Where is it? Or oh, in chat. Okay, sorry, I was looking on Twitter. No, I think I got it. Let me take a look at it real quick. Yeah. Okay, yeah, right. See, this is definitely more definitive. So they do so this makes it, well, I mean, let me make sure. Yeah. Just make sure it actually shows up here. Oh, also, can we talk about the program? No, never mind. But like, just how the license agreement is formatted on this page. Can we, like, you can't modify the size of the damn box, and they expect you to read what 20 pages of the agreement. Yeah. Let's see. Where's as hereinafter defined. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Right. Like so. So this makes it pretty. So exactly. And you know, I guess I could even forgive it not being a PDF if it were at least the page formatting were a little bit more controllable. But yeah, so let me see. So this is a generic license for all of their software essentially, right? So the only instance of the phrase Live 2D Cubism editor in the agreement, I think. Oh no, there's another link. There's another hit. Oh no, it's okay. But you're right. See, like this is a much better argument than it is what it is because it's on the website, right? Because it shows up as that phrase in the software license agreement. So see that. But you see what I mean? Like that's a much stronger argument, or that's a more definitive argument or definitive statement than, oh, the website says Live 2D Cubism editor, so that's what the full title is. Like the you know, like that's a little bit of weak argument. But pulling up the software license agreement and saying, okay, it shows up as that phrase in there, so therefore that is very likely, at least for legal purposes, that definitely is. Well, that's what you said, but you didn't link the agreement. Like, I'm the one that was looking up the agreement, right? Yeah, because I wasn't sure. This is my point. I thought it was just cubism, but I wasn't sure what the actual term was. So, yeah. I mean, well, anyway. Well, I guess what I mean is that the beginning of the conversation. Like, I realize you linked it at whenever this comment or whenever the yeah. Anyway. Right. Anyway, yeah. So anyway, yeah. So, although I do wonder, is the, like, you know how the .vrm file format is, I think, open now. Is whatever file format's used for Live 2D, is that open at all or not? I'm not sure. I thought I might be confusing the two, but I thought I know VRM, I think, now has a, what do you call it? I know the .vrm file format has like a what do you call it? Not a foundation, but it's probably open. Yeah. Well, I just wasn't sure because again, also I thought Live 2D had like a viewer. Yeah. Oh, you know, here it is. Okay, I see. So it's Live 2D Cubism Viewer, SDK, and Editor. So they're all unified under the Live 2D Cubism like nomenclature. Yeah, it is open? Okay, yeah. So, or it's probably open, I guess is the point. But yeah, okay. Chizuru-san, welcome back. Sorry, which isn't that, or which is that in respect to? Yeah. Sorry, so just, I don't know when Chizuru-san came in, but we were just talking about what is the name of, you know, Cube or Live 2D Cubism, and I wasn't sure if it was just Cubism and then the company's name is Live 2D and they just combined the two, and then and so we were looking that up, and in the software license agreement it does pop up as the full term Live 2D Cubism editor. So at least for the editor, the full title of the software is indeed Live 2D Cubism editor, you know, the three words. Yeah. That was just all we were looking up. Yeah. Open file. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'd have to look it up. I mean, I guess I could look it right now, but yeah. Yeah, and and maybe that's not even that big of an issue, right? Because there is an SDK, right? So I imagine in terms of interfacing with, well, I guess no, that still leaves the making the models totally under their control, right? So for the file format, I guess what it means to say is that, or what I mean to say is that, is the file format, I mean, I don't think you need a, well, you need, I guess you need a license in the sense that, again, I honestly don't know. Because, I guess what I mean to say is, do you need a license for, I don't think you, I guess, you probably need some kind of agreement. If it isn't open source, then I imagine you need some kind of agreement to develop software that follows the file format, or the whatever standards of the file format exist. Because and you see this just kind of as a practical thing, right? Because like, for example, if you want to develop, and sorry, so we're talking about the, do so just to be specific, what I'm talking about right now is, do you need, or, in regards to the fact that Live2D Cubism editor, full title. I'm just going to call it Cubism, but right, we already established that Live2D Cubism editor is indeed the full legal name of the software. But we're addressing the fact that it seems like Cubism is the only piece of software that exists that can convert, whatever images you give it into a Live2D model. And the question, I guess, or that I'm specifically addressing is, do you need a license to develop something like Cubism? And I don't know, but I imagine you do, in the sense that you probably need to sign, if it's not open source, then you do probably need to sign an agreement just to get access to the developer documentation, right? Which is pretty standard. And you see this in other places, right? For example, you need to sign non-disclosure agreements. This is going to be an awkward example, but when you want to look up the documentation for how to program cellular modems, a lot of that stuff is blocked, which makes sense because you don't want any general Joe Schmo to have access to, how to send specific commands, using a cell phone, right? Because you can send stuff like for example, I got partial documentation access, and I was able to do stuff like, I was able to send like non-avoidable like pop-ups to people via, I think, as part of like, there are not emergency alerts, but there are like alerts like that you can send via like cellular modems to other people that just show up as like general pop-ups, for example. I'm not quite sure what it's for, but you can. And that stuff is like, for example, it's only partially documented. So in a practical, and it makes sense because you don't want some general person to just be able to like say like, like spam someone's phone with unavoidable pop-ups, right? For example, it's not something you want to just make possible. But so in the same way with like Cubism, right? Like at a practical level, like you can make a dot. Sorry, I don't know what the file format for the model is, or at least well, actually, no, I do, because I have the model here somewhere, or not. Oh, where is it? Is Steam? Here it is, Steam, and then I think it's Steam apps, and then common. YouTube Studio, here we go. And then Studio Data, and then I think streaming assets, Live2D models. I've done this so many times I've memorized it. Anyway, okay, so there's a texture file and a bunch of JSONs.
Well, actually, wait, if that's the case, then it should be fairly trivial then. Yeah, it's oh wait, no, there is an .moc3. So like for example, this file is probably the really important one. That and the texture, obviously, but the .moc3 file probably has a lot of the critical information for the model. So, for example, how well is that file format documented? I don't know. But if it wasn't, then you probably would have to. And for example, if this was like, important trade, not trade secret, but like, if it was very critical to Live2D as a company operating, then in a practical sense, you're going to be signing an agreement just so that they can hold you accountable for not, just like, using their IP, right? At that, and I don't know anything about IP law. In fact, I don't really know much about law in general, obviously, but it's a matter of intellectual property, right? And I don't know where it begins or ends with Live2D as a company, but yeah. I mean, I think I don't know. I think it'd be nice if it was open source, like the .vrm file format, but we'll see. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, so that seems the conclusion, like, then, okay, yeah. Because one claims they can't mess around with the model and the modeler. Oh, I see. Is that something that is that something that rigger or people that rig it do? I guess. They like pull out a specific file so people can't mess with it, or people can't just get access to all the work, I guess. I mean, if so, that's pretty smart, I gotta say, right? Yeah. I thought there was like a project file though, but because if I remember correctly, before you export it, the file's pretty big, but I think it like, I don't know, I doubt it compresses anything, but it gets rid of a lot of fluff at some point. So I'm not sure, but anyway, it makes sense that during the process of like making the model, you'd make it so that the person you're working with can't just like take it and run, right? Yeah. Spell from reverse engineered. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it could, maybe it couldn't. I don't know enough about the file format to make an assessment. But I guess I wouldn't be surprised if there was somehow some way to reverse engineer it. But Cubism SDK for Lumberyard. Does anyone remember? Lumberyard? Who even still uses Lumberyard? Wow. Not that it's bad. It's just I'm surprised they bothered to make an SDK that for it. Like Amazon's like game development engine. I think it's based on like CryEngines or something. Let me look it up. Amazon Lumberyard. Was it CryEngine based? Yeah, it's CryEngine based. Yeah, you remember that, right? There's an SDK for it. Like, wow, honestly. Well, anyway, I should get back to work. But, yeah. I'm just looking for any excuse to procrastinate, honestly. Ow. Ow.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess that makes sense. Yeah. Although I'm not. I wonder what in addition to. Anyway. Yeah. Fuck my back. I've been tempted to buy like a pillow just to shove in on my chair. Oh. Something to do with After Effects. I'm not quite sure. Yep. Yeah. Ooh, yeah. I'm just. Sorry, let me just patch this up really quick. Got a band-aid in here. Something to do. I have this little scab on my knee because I keep bumping into the same spot on my desk. And I'm like, I just bumped into it again and it's like, oh fuck, it's like bleeding a little again. Which, and honestly, it doesn't hurt, it's just, I don't want to get blood randomly somewhere, so it's like, come on, is there not a first, I guess we don't have a first aid kit in here, damn it. You know, whatever, yeah, it's fine, it'll turn into a scab at some point. Let's see. And 600 USD, okay. Yeah, not a lot. The fact that that's not a lot still sort of baffles me. Yeah. Maybe, not that it's because it's not worth it, but it's just like, I don't know. $600 for, you know, at least until you make it big, that's for what you know, equivalent of a hobby or something. Well, I suppose people have spent more on hobbies, so maybe it's not that surprising, but yeah. 800, wow. I mean, I guess, what did yours look like again? Yeah, man, that's a lot of money. Do you have a link to like a model showcase or something? I don't remember what. I'll just go to Twitch actually. 4K, wow. I mean, I guess it is what it is though, right? Yeah, whatever. Yeah. Actually, that reminds me, this has nothing to do with live 2D models, but it actually has to do with Nishizawa Gomiri sensei. Nishizawa Gomiri sensei. I don't know if you guys watch her channel at all, but she was, I don't know if it was a recent one, but she here it is. No, it's a few months ago. Well, actually, no, it's not this video. It's the one where she is talking about like the email back and forth between. Is it this one? Oh yeah, you know, it's this one. Wait, actually, wait, is this subtitled? Okay, sorry, never mind. Let me start.
Oh no, it's pretty much from the beginning. But essentially, you know Momo Suzunene from Hololive? This is her illustrator, her mom. But this video is basically her mom got her own figure, or you know, there's a figure now, or I don't know if you call it a figure, but like I forgot who the company is, but there's a company that made a model of her character, right? Not Momo Suzunene, but her mom, right? So this video is essentially starting from about like the 40-second point is just her talking about like the back and forth that went into making the model, and it's just like so specific. It I don't, is this not translated? I guess it's not translated, but it's so hilarious because there'll be stuff like, oh yeah, could you move the right eye by just a little bit, and could you like tilt it down just a little bit, and then it's like, okay. Or it's like or I can't remember. It's like the like the poop shape thing that she has. It's like, okay, that's this figure. You know, it's a little tall. Can you squish it a little bit, or like can you squish it just ever so slightly, and then you could move the eyes a little bit higher, or like, you know, it's like, and it's very specific. She'd be like, I don't know. It's like you know, like I think she mentioned like the glossiness of certain things, or like, you know, it's just so hilarious. And it's like, yeah, you know, I mean. It makes sense. It makes sense. Like, you know, she's a professional, right? So of course she's gonna be a super specific about this stuff. But yeah. Three minutes older. It's a very important distinction, right? Very important distinction. I mean, she wasn't gonna. It's not like you guys could come out at the same time, right? Or is that a thing? Physically, I don't know. That sounds unlikely, but nearly, but very. What do you call it? I don't know. Is that a thing? Are there twins that are born at the literal same moment? Like, is that physically possible? I mean, I imagine it's physically possible, but does it actually ever physically, like, occur? Ah, fuck, this video player's busted again. I have to refresh this video so many times. It's annoying. Yeah. Technically 5 minutes older? Okay, so... so you can hold that over your twin forever. Yeah. No. Okay, yeah, I mean, again, I just wasn't sure. Yeah. Because I always hear about the... before the other, so that's what I was wondering about. Like, physically, is there any reason why? Well, I guess what I mean to say is with a sufficiently, like, what do you call it? What is that part of the bone? The first part. Which first part? Oh, yeah, sorry, earlier. But... sorry, wait, what part of what is that bone called? Why can I not remember? I took anatomy, I should know this stuff. Yeah, sorry. I didn't. I don't know how often that happens to you guys, but well, actually, I guess the first thing is I don't have the chat box as a pop-up. All right, maybe I should just extend it like this. There we go. So now I can see more. Yeah, sorry about that. You can, if you get a C-section, yeah, I don't know if there's anything physically stopping, like, if you've given it a large enough, what is the opening in the bone called? But, yeah. Yeah, but no, you're right. Yeah, technically, I guess, yeah, if you cut open another path, then, yeah. Yeah, sorry about the, yeah. You can tell it's been a long day. We'll make that the excuse. But, yeah. Yeah. I should get something done, though.
Although, honestly, so the thing is, and part of the reason why I'm a little bit hesitant in just starting out, or on just starting this, is because I'm not sure if this content is even on the exam, so I wonder if I should just, like, ditch it and just focus on the exam. Like, I just... Did he ever... I don't think he ever uploaded a study guide, so it's like... I don't necessarily know what's on the exam. Or what the cutoff in terms of content is. Oh yeah, no worries. I mean, no study guide. I mean, yeah, I don't know. There might be if not a study guide, there's at least going to be like a review next week. So, but see, that's next week, right? So it's like I would have rather known now so that I can figure out what to focus on. So. But I don't know if this homework is going to be on the exam. In fact, I'm actually pretty sure it's not. So it's kind of like, it's hard to motivate myself to kind of work on, or, right? Yeah. So. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Thanks for coming by. Take care. Stay safe. And yeah, have a good evening. Let's gotta. Ooh, yeah. I'll probably go until like maybe 1:30 or 2 and then take a nap and then start again. Yeah, let's say 2 o'clock tentatively, and yeah. When exam? This Friday. Yeah, I'd rather just be studying that, to be honest. Yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, man, honestly, there's so much stuff. Like, honestly, I'm not really. So I mentioned I was planning to apply to grad school this semester again, but I'm kind of going in a direction where I'm like, maybe I shouldn't bother this time, and then I haven't talked to my PI about that yet, though, or my I guess effectively my advisor about that yet, though. So it's kind of like, there's so much stuff going on. Yeah, and then also this content I don't think is even going to be on the exam, so it's like, why am I studying for it then? Like, or why am I studying it then? Like, shouldn't I be focusing on the exam? I don't know. Anyway. Too much stuff to do. Excuse me. Oh, shit. Why did that fall now? There we go. Or maybe I should take a nap and so you just keep trying to procrastinate. Ugh. You took OChem? I mean, I mean that's fair, right? Like, I mean, you don't have to like the class for it to be helpful, right? Um, those aren't necessarily mutually. Well, anyway, that's good. Anyway, uh, yeah, well, that's good though. That's good. Well, I mean, it's not good, but at least there was more to be gained out of it than just a better grade, right? Um, yeah. Yeah, just out of curiosity, what was the topic though? Just if I don't know how how explainable it is in isolation, of course, but yeah. Well, actually, wait. Sorry. Are you studying for something right now? Because if that's the case, I can we can just like shut up and focus. But if not, then feel free to elaborate. Ooh. So there's channels. Fuck, I should know this. I mean, obviously it's the size, but say the right thing? Can't remember. And then let's see. So the reason why the sodium doesn't go into a potassium channel, can't remember. I feel like what's it? Well, feel free to explain. But yeah, I vaguely remember from that intro neuro course. I can't. I vaguely remember like the diagrams they drew, but I don't really remember what the main reason was. If you could jog my memory, that would be great. Yeah. What was it? But there's a what do you call it? Like an architectural reason why they're specific to their whatever ion, right? I can't. What was the? I said he won't go through actual atoms on how it attaches water hydration. Hmm? Sorry, do you have a diagram? Or wait. I don't know how busy you are right now, but I'm trying to remember. どういう感じだっけ? Explains why I barely passed that class. Yeah. Or sorry. What do you mean by water hydration? I guess is the point. Like, I don't know. Let me just Google it. So. Wait, okay, wait, okay. I think I get it now. Yeah, yeah. Here. Here we go. Okay, yeah, yeah. Okay, now I remember. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Right, okay. Yeah. Although I can't remember the the actual distances for the life of me. I remember some professor mentioned it once, and I was like, damn, I can't remember all these little numbers. Although I guess you should be able to technically calculate it, but I can't do that kind of calculation in my head. But right, yeah. Yeah. Whatever shell or whatever it is, yeah. It's electron. Right. Yeah. Yeah, the thing I remembered was I think this maybe not this diagram, but it was kind of like this diagram. I mean, it's all blurred so you can't see it, of course, but yeah, man, that class was so fast. Ooh. Yeah. Right, yeah. I should. Sorry. I guess really I should probably just take a nap. Honestly, I can feel my brain's not keeping up. But yeah, yeah. I vaguely remember stuff from that class. I guess. Yeah, it was a fun class. The nap. I'm tempted to, but also I've done like nothing so far, so I feel like I should do something right now before I consider taking a nap. Yeah. Let's try to push a little bit further. Ooh. Oh, okay. Yeah. Thanks. Yeah. Yeah. I can't.
Actually, so that actually reminds me something that happened in journal club for my research group, but this kind of reminded me because like the orbitals or like the just the electron thing kind of reminded me, but it was we were discussing. I can't. What was it? It was essentially one. I can't remember what it was. It was a topic about using like optical traps. So like using lasers to trap molecules, and I can't remember, but something about like the orbital hybridization of or what hybridization or what bonds are hybridized how in the molecule was given as or was one of the explanations that I found for how this specific trap had worked. So I was trying to refresh my memory on that for journal club, and I did this so on and so forth, and then I actually went to journal club, right, thinking, oh, okay, I understand some of this now. And then the person that's presenting, who's really smart, explains it in a completely different way without even touching like orbital hybridization at all, and he just talks about like the optical trap depth as well as the shape of the trap or the shape of the potential defined by the trap or whatever, and it's like all this stuff. And it was one of those good examples, I think, where it was kind of like how in if your background is like biocentric, then perhaps, or chemistry centric, then perhaps you would explain it by discussing the hybridization. But then if your background is pure like physics and pure like theory and stuff like this guy, then your approach to the problem is fundamentally like just different. And it made sense to me because essentially I can't even remember the explanation anymore. I'll have to look it up. I memoed it down somewhere, but it just kind of reminded me like like in this case here, right, we can model the selectivity of the ion channel by discussing, of course, the electronegativity as well as the what do we talk about? It's like the energy it takes to separate an electron from its orbital as a function of the distance from the nucleus. But whatever that, I can't remember what the term is, but that's what we were talking about here, right? And it's like that's a very chemistry and biocentric explanation, right? So it makes me wonder, like, what is like the pure physics explanation for this, like why this happens? Because I'm willing to bet that it'd probably just be like just completely different and just be like, what the heck are these guys talking about, right? Like, I think that's been the really interesting thing being in the physics department, right? You like this has happened just so many times, this kind of thing where you expect or you think like, oh, okay, this is the explanation, but then they'll just their background is just so totally different that like they'll explain it completely in a completely different way. And it's like, how they talk about like diversity within academia, right? Like to me, like that was like the biggest example. It's like, this is why diversity in academia is so important, right? Because literally they'll just like the foundational, like the knowledge that serves as the foundation is just so fundamentally different that you can get the same solution, but you can just get there using completely different methods. And like, honestly, it's really interesting, right? But, it's just, I don't know, just me kind of just, just, there's no real, I'm not really getting to any point. It's just this kind of reminded me of that, where it's like, in like, well, like the way I said it, right? Like it's the, using the electronegativity and, the electron orbitals to explain it is one angle, but I wonder what the other way, or what the other ways of explaining it are, right? Like, yeah. Yeah, like, and sorry, another reason why this came up is because I can't remember, but it was some discussion about woke people talking about putting like certain or woke people trying to add diversity to academia and blah blah blah. And there was some I think mainly the person that was making the comment was probably just butthurt that they couldn't get accepted to a university. But anyway, when I was kind of thinking about it, it's like, a lot of, I imagine, maybe there is some degree of like, oh, they're trying to go, maybe they're trying to appeal to oh, we're being, inclusive and stuff. But then at the same time, it's like, I feel like, this was, this example with this journal club was another example where it's like, I mean, okay, yeah, maybe there are people that are kind of like virtue signaling, but I mean, here is a great example where having that diversity is, very, very valid, right? It introduces a completely different approach to, that completely different approach that's still valid, right? So it's kind of an interesting for me to like look at that and be like, yeah. Or basically, it's I guess that's really all I'm trying to say, right? It's interesting, yeah. I was actually surprised because some of the grad apps had a diversity statement thing. So I actually used this for the application because I was like, honestly, like I can't really comment on the whole like, ethnical diversity thing, but from an academic, background perspective, which perhaps you could extend to an ethnic diversity kind of statement, then like here is a fantastic actual example of how that was like valuable, right? So yeah, right, exactly. And you bring up another or a good other point, right? There's a positive, and I say positive in terms of it increases, not that it's a good thing, right? But there's a positive reinforcement loop that can happen that could be detrimental. So that's so confusing, positive and negative reinforcement, right? Because it's, you got to be specific. Are you talking about the effect amplifying, like positive equals the effect amplifies, or positive as in it's a good thing, right? And vice versa, right? Are you talking about negative reinforcement as in the effect is decreased, or yeah, right, right, exactly, like feedback loops, exactly, yeah. Or oh wait, what was I saying? Did I say? I meant to say feedback loop the first time. Sorry, did I not say that? Sorry, I intended to say feedback loop. But right, yeah, that's a confusing thing with feedback loops, right? Whether it's a negative feedback loop, it can be a positive thing, or can be a good thing. It's so positive in that sense, and then vice versa. Yeah. Right, exactly. It's just such a troublesome thing with language, right? Yeah. Oh fuck, I'm out of drinks again. Do I have any water? Ah, yes, I do have water. Good job past me for actually putting some water in the fridge. Yeah. Oops. Yeah. You have to understand it's a good thing. Well, I've explained it to people with like no scientific background, and they've been able to get it. So, but it is one of those things where you got to be careful about making sure the vocabulary you're using is consistent, right? It's yeah, it's I say you, but in not a literal you, but like just in a general sense, of course. But yeah, it's never you can't be it's hard to be clear, or it's hard to figure out if what kind of background someone has. So yeah, right, exactly. And although again, if I explain that to people, usually I've basically every time I've had to talk about feedback loops to someone that isn't necessarily have a necessarily a background in like STEM, once you explain it to them, I feel like they get it. It's just you need to explain it to them first, right? Yeah. 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 Right. Exactly. I feel like you see it a lot in or the where's the best example? I feel like in teaching you hear the phrase negative reinforcement used like that, or used in a punishment sense before, and it's like I've always they're not teaching, but like what is the word? Yeah, it's getting pretty late in the evening, honestly. But anyway, but no, right? I get it. Yeah, it's really confusing, right? Or not? It's not confusing, but it can get mixed up really easily. Is I guess the right phrase. Yeah. 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 English. English. Yeah. Yeah. I don't remember what I was getting at, if I was getting at anything. I don't think I even was getting at anything, but yeah. English. Exactly, yeah. English. Yeah. Yeah. Fuck, I'm getting nothing done. Maybe I should, sorry, maybe I should just take a rest. I feel like I'm getting nothing done, and every time I'm trying to focus on something, I'm like, what was I even working on? It might be better to just take a nap and then get back to work. Yeah, although let me double check my deadlines. So this problem set, or however much I can do of this problem set, is due on Monday at midnight. We have an exam on Friday. And I think to do the problem set, I only need to do up to... What is it on? Let's kind of double check what I'm doing. So actually, here's another link, and here's another easily confusable thing, specifically in physics. So, we talk about like relativity and like the like what do you call it? Like the the compression or expansion of like time, right? Or distance, or right? So there's a concept in physics called retarded time, and I feel like it's just like you'll be talking about this like on the bus or something, or like in public, right? And I feel like I don't know about everyone else, but I feel like every single time I have to say like, oh, it retards a little bit or something, I have to be very careful to be like, it's retarded time, so just people that are around us don't like assume I'm just like talking about it in like a medical sense, or like it's like, no, I'm not calling someone retarded. I'm talking about time, compressing or expand, like yeah. It's like, no, I'm talking about like like lights and like different, exactly. It's like I don't know. I don't think I imagine it's just me overthinking it, but I feel like whenever you're talking like whenever I'm talking in public, I feel like I need to be a little bit careful about like saying it too loudly, or else I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, because you look at the topics on these lectures here, and it's like retarded potentials continue, retarded fields, retarded potentials of a point charge, retarded potentials of and fields of a point charge, and so on and so forth, but but the word retarded comes up just so many times. It's like, it's like, I don't know. It's like, I doubt anyone really cares if you're talking about it in public, but you know, that doesn't mean I'm not going to be conscious of it a little bit, right? Like, yeah. Okay, sorry. Let me set up my sleeping bag. Ow. Yep. It's soaked. Ow. Ooh. It. Put these away. It's non-psych manager said, well, why are they in your class? I mean, not that they can't take the class, just like, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. Not, again, I think it's fine. Like, you know, people talk about it. I don't know. I feel like it's such a college thing for people to like just sit in a class that they're not in or they're not enrolled in. I don't think it's that in this case though, right? But like I realize stuff like that happens, and I think it's fine if, you know, people want to take a class outside of their field or something, but you know, I just don't think it's that common, right? So I don't know. Is there? I mean, I guess there's a. I guess there must. I guess, you know, at least in the U.S., right there is like a. I can't remember what general education requirement it is, but there is one that can be satisfied with a psychology course. So so I guess it could be something like that, but yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's yeah, it definitely does feel like people can get people these I don't want to say people these days because it's such a general statement, right? But I don't know. It seems like just overall it's just people are just a lot easier to I don't to me it seems like people are just waiting for there's this culture of just like, you know, yeah, I guess what I mean to say is it feels like people are just waiting for the chance to be offended. It's like they're just they're just like so anxious to get the chance to be offended. And it's like as soon as someone says something slightly wrong, it's like, okay, here's my time to shine. You know, I've learned this in school. I know what to say. I know totally how to shit on this person. Like, and it's like again, yeah, like as you said, like calm, like just sit down, shut up, and like just like take a breath. Like I don't know, and you know, I don't necessarily want to say that should be, you know, they shouldn't, you know, if there is something that needs to be, you know, questioned or criticized, then, you know, by all means, I think that, you know, I don't want to take anything away from that. It's just that there's, I don't know, at least in the US, I definitely feel like there's this culture of like, as soon as, you know, I don't know what to call it. But yeah, I don't know. To me, it feels like people are just so anxious to do something. Right, exactly. It's like, I don't know. I honestly think this is probably just a product of, or like I get the feeling it's the product of like this overall culture of, you know, wanting people to take action. Like
I think, like, especially at least in the U.S., right, but especially, or we'll specify to California too, because that's all I can really comment on. But like, there definitely is this culture of like, oh, people should be very proactive about things, and take action, and there's this, there's a lot of importance in initiative and action, and I guess timeliness of like that initiative and action, of course. And I do wonder if all this stuff that we see now, with all this kind of like very reactive kind of anger and stuff, is, I do wonder if it's partially a consequence of, again, that initiative and that kind of the ability to take action, like prove the righteous. that proving righteousness thing, I think, is another interesting point, right? It's I remember, this is a very specific example, but I was looking at I don't remember if it was Twitter or if it was something on Pixiv, but basically, I guess, I can't remember how it came up, but the long story short is that an illustrator had drawn some I guess not safe for work fan art of a VTuber, and there was oh no, never mind, it was on Twitter. Yeah, no, I remember now. And it was and they had received a reply that said, this person was like, oh, you should, you asshole. Essentially, this was in Japanese, so I can't really translate it that well. But the thing was, the comment was, I guess, another viewer of this VTuber, and the commenter was just totally shitting on the illustrator, being like, oh, you should know better than to to make not safe for fan art of this person. You if you were a true viewer, like, they were right. The VTuber had requested not, to not have, not safe for work fan art of them to be drawn, from what I understand. But this person was just like, oh man, you're just like, you're like worthless as a human being. You should feel ashamed of yourself, and so on and so forth. And the illustrator had apologized, but when you looked at the interaction on Twitter, you could tell the illustrator, I guess, they were just a fan, and they just honestly didn't realize. So they said they were like, I apologize, and do better going forward to make sure this doesn't happen, or to be more vigilant about these kind. I'm pretty sure they used the word vigilant in I can't remember what it is in Japanese now, and I think the comments kind of agreed with me here, but people were like, yes, we get it. The illustrator should have known better, but damn, the guy that was telling him to, telling the illustrator off, like, damn, like, like, don't be so arrogant just because you're right. It's like the validity or the righteousness kind of, like, that's one thing, but like just like, there's a lot of other ways to tell this person than to kind of, what do you call it, be arrogant, right? It was yeah, sorry, I don't know what that is necessarily in a response to, but I think for me it was kind of like, I think it's a good example of how, like, I don't think this is new, right? I think whenever, people are, again, having used the internet long enough, right? It's this is just what happens, but I do wonder if all this, like, I don't really know what I'm trying to get at, but like, harassing the artist, right, and they use the fact that the artist was, wrong, right? They did something that the VTuber didn't want. They did it without realizing, but they still did it. So, he was wrong, but it was like,
you know, the person that was harassing the artist was only right. Like that's all they were. That's all it was. They were right, but they did nothing else except be right. In fact, they did everything except being wrong. And I thought it was a good example because I feel like you see that a lot where being right is, and again, as I said, this is right. I mean, I'm sure we can both agree that's not a new phenomena, but with the internet, I think you see it a lot more often where people use the fact that they're right to be assholes, and it's like, yeah, it's I mean, I hope it's just a phase for people, but it is a little bit well, this is why I I mostly stay off Twitter, right, for this exact reason, right? It's yeah, I just need my like my stream schedule updates for whatever VTubers. I don't even do that anymore, actually, but yeah, it is what it is. Oh fuck, it's 1 o'clock. Okay, yeah, sorry. Dude, it's on. Yeah, thanks for popping by. I think I should take a nap though, or else I'm probably just gonna be kind of like groggy and just going on forever. So. Yeah, and then I gotta submit the assignment and then study for the yeah. but after this Friday, I think I can breathe like just a small sigh of relief. So I might try Overwatch 2. Randale's wrong. Exactly, right. It's all in as they say, the devil is in the details, right? Yeah, but hopefully you don't have to deal with anything like that, yeah, I should sleep. Yeah, sorry, sorry sorry for cutting. We can pick up this conversation at some point in the future, obviously. But I think right now I just need to sleep and then focus on catching up. So, but yeah, thanks for coming by. Take care. Stay safe. In fact, shouldn't you be sleeping too? But anyway, I'll catch you later. Thanks for popping by. お疲れ。おやすみ。